I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, the thought of seeing number 99 back in a Rams jersey is becoming impossible to shake. Multiple reports from insiders like Ian Rappaport confirm that Aaron Donald is genuinely exploring a comeback and is actively working out at the team facility. It is absolutely wild to consider that a future Hall of Famer might reverse his retirement just months after walking away. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Smash that like button, subscribe, and tell me your name and city below. Let's get into it. The biggest story surrounding our Los Angeles Rams as we approach training camp is the shocking possibility that Aaron Donald might come out of retirement to rejoin the roster. For years, Donald has been the undisputed heart and soul of this defense, serving as a pillar of excellence and consistency that defined an era of football in Los Angeles. Fans care deeply because he is more than just a legendary player. He is the standard bearer for what we expect from this organization. According to NFL Media's Ian Rappaport, this comeback is a real possibility, though Donald himself remains uncertain about the final decision. Rappaport noted that while Donald has started working out, he likely will not appear at training camp, perhaps delaying a potential return until late camp or even the regular season. Adam Schefter previously reported that Donald visited the team facility to gauge how he physically feels, which confirms he is taking this evaluation process seriously. The bottom line here is that a competitor of his caliber will not return unless he is physically prepared to perform at the high level we all remember. Seeing him back in the building has ignited a massive wave of hope and nostalgia among the fan base, as we collectively wonder if we will witness one more chapter of his storied career. However, this situation raises an immediate and complex question regarding the chemistry of the current squad. If he does decide to return, how would his late arrival affect the defensive rhythm that Sean McVay has been carefully cultivating throughout the entire summer off-season? This transition brings us to a critical look at the roster dynamics, because while the prospect of his return is exhilarating, we must consider whether the current defensive scheme remains the right fit for his iconic playstyle. The most surprising development regarding a possible return is that Aaron Donald is currently working out at our facility, a direct shift from his initial retirement decision earlier this year. Now here's the thing, his sudden desire to test his body stems from a lifelong commitment to competitive excellence that simply does not switch off just because he signed retirement papers. Ian Rappaport notes that while Donald is actively assessing his physical state, he is not currently under any strict deadline to rejoin Sean McVay for the start of camp on July 25th. This situation is reminiscent of veteran legends who find the pull of the gridiron too strong to ignore after a brief period of time away from the game. Behind closed doors, Stan Kroenke and the front office are likely managing a delicate balance of respect for his legacy and the strategic necessity of having a Hall of Fame talent available for a potential playoff push. They know that if he commits, it will be at a championship caliber rather than a diminished capacity. We must remember that while the team prepares for joint practices against the Dallas Cowboys on August 11th and an August 15th preseason opener, the coaching staff needs clarity before they can finalize their defensive schemes. Peter Schrager suggests that Donald is specifically looking at a full season return, which shifts the focus toward the regular season rather than a simple training camp appearance. If he does decide to lace them up again, it would be a monumental boost for our defense as we navigate a tough 2026 schedule. We are watching a unique situation unfold where a legendary player gets to dictate his own terms based on pure physical readiness, proving that even in retirement, the standard for our organization remains remarkably high for every single player. The prospect of Aaron Donald stepping back onto the field is shaking the very foundation of our expectations for this upcoming campaign. We are talking about a potential midseason return that could completely alter the trajectory of Sean McVay's roster. And I'll be straight with you, this situation presents a unique logistical challenge, because the team must prepare for training camp starting July 25th without knowing if their greatest defensive pillar will anchor the line once again. From a roster perspective, an eventual return would provide a massive injection of leadership, though it necessitates careful salary cap management to accommodate his presence. If Donald decides to join the fray later in the year, he would fundamentally change how we approach high-stakes matchups, particularly our intense division rivalries. Imagine the defensive adjustment required for opponents when they have to account for his legendary disruption during the final stretch of the regular season. His reemergence would surely solidify our standing in a competitive division and drastically raise our ceiling for a deep playoff run. Reports from Ian Rapoport suggest that while no formal deadline exists, we should monitor his workout progress closely as he evaluates his physical readiness. It is a rare chance to see a generational talent chase glory one last time. Yet we must remain realistic about the physical demands he is assessing. Even if he does not appear for training camp or the August 15th preseason opener, his potential arrival remains a massive card to play for the coaching staff. Whether he returns or stays retired, the mere conversation surrounding his name creates a palpable energy that has us all captivated. We will watch the facility reports closely throughout August, waiting to see if he decides that he still has the drive to dominate the gridiron in a Los Angeles uniform for one more glorious, unforgettable chapter. The prospect of Aaron Donald returning to our defensive line provides a monumental boost to our title aspirations, as his presence alone transforms the entire schematic identity of this unit. Having a future Hall of Famer back in the mix provides an unparalleled veteran anchor who knows the system perfectly and can immediately dictate the pace of play for our younger guys. And I cannot stress this enough, the upside of adding a talent of that magnitude during the final stretch of the season is precisely what separates good teams from championship contenders. However, we must address the significant risks involved in bringing a retired veteran back into the fold after he has been away from professional football activities. Transitioning from individual workouts back into the daily grind of full contact is brutal on the body, and there is a genuine concern that he might not reach that same dominant form we all remember so fondly. According to Ian Rapoport, it remains a real possibility, though it is clear that Donald himself is still navigating the decision. We have heard various reports from experts like Adam Schefter and Peter Schrager regarding his timeline and potential interest in playing alongside Myles Garrett, which has sparked intense discussion across the league. The way I see it, the speculation regarding his partnership with Garrett seems slightly overblown because we need to focus on what our roster actually requires, rather than just chasing headline-grabbing pairings. While the prospect is exciting for us as Los Angeles Rams fans, I am personally skeptical that a player of his status would return if he felt even a step slower than his prime. We should remain grounded while monitoring his progress at the facility, acknowledging that while his comeback is a dream scenario, the reality of mid-season adjustments is always tougher than it appears on paper. The potential return of Aaron Donald signifies a massive shift for the Los Angeles Rams, suggesting that the franchise is still prioritizing an all-in championship window under Sean McVay. If one of the greatest defensive players in history decides to lace his cleats up again, it changes the entire trajectory for our upcoming seasons by providing a foundational anchor for our defense. What makes this even bigger is the sheer impact his presence would have on team morale and the locker room standard. As Los Angeles Rams fans, you should feel a sense of cautious optimism heading into this season, primarily because the reports from Ian Rapoport and Adam Schefter indicate that Donald is genuinely taking his time to ensure his body can handle the rigors of professional football again. We know he has nothing left to prove, yet the fact that he is working out at our facility shows he still cares about this organization deeply. While he might not be there for the start of training camp on July 25th, his potential mid-season arrival could serve as the ultimate catalyst for a deep playoff run. It is rare to see a legend consider such a comeback, and his return would immediately make our defensive unit a force to be reckoned with against any opponent. We are watching a fascinating chapter unfold, and it is a situation that keeps us all on the edge of our seats as we wait for his final decision. Do you believe Aaron Donald will officially announce his return to the field before our first preseason game on August 15? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Ram it! I'll see you in the next one.